Hey everybody, welcome back to the Ball Does Lie podcast, your one-stop shop for daily NBA content. I'm your host, Brendan, joined by my co-host, Amir, and we have a lot to talk about in regards to the New York Knicks today, Amir. The Knicks have been very shaky in this last stretch of basketball, basically this entire month, have actually recently lost to both the Golden State Warriors, who are struggling, trying to figure out their Kuminga situation, and the smoking hot Sacramento Kings, who have actually won 4 straight, but not a team you want to lose to when you're a potential contender in the East. So, Amir, want to toss it to you here. What do you think the Knicks have been struggling with over this stretch, and what do you think they need to do to get back off the schneid here?
Yeah, I mean the Knicks, like they're still the third seed in the East, even after this 3-7 stretch. But they play hard. They're a physical team. They're well coached, obviously. But when they're banged up or shots aren't falling, and when they're not playing defense, that's the biggest key. I think the margin for error disappears right now. Like Karl Anthony Towns is a great offensive player, but I don't think he's a good defensive player. So um, they don't have a lot of creativity either. So like when Jalen is not playing amazing and getting you like 28, 30 points per game, then the offense can stall at times. And people are scouting them, a little bit differently. But I think the biggest thing is their defense. Like they're 18th or 20th in defensive rating right now. And like that's not good enough. Like their offensive rating is 3. Like that's their bread and butter, obviously. Like Jalen Brunson is like one of the best combo guards in the NBA, of course, right? And he's a perennial all-star. But I just think teams are just scoring a lot on them. It's their defense, struggles, and that's kind of surprising when they have players like Mikal Bridges, who is a good two-way player, like OG Anunoby, who's a good two-way player. So I think it's the defense that needs to pick up, and I don't think it's something that they have to panic about. Like they're just regressing a little bit, and it's just a bad stint because their offense is is so good. Honestly, with Brunson and Cat, they're going to be in most games, right? They're going to have an opportunity to compete. So, what do you think it is? Like honestly, like in this last stretch, because they've lost to a couple bad teams there. The
Yeah,
teams that you should
no,
definitely,
you've
if you're a true contender and want to be a true top 2 team, 3 team in the East, like you got to beat the Pelicans. You got to beat whoever else they've lost to.
you got to beat the Kings too.
You got to
Honestly,
beat
as a
the
Kings
Kings. Yeah,
fan.
that you mentioned. Like that's just like those are like must-win games when they're in the single digits. When you're playing against teams in the single digits, if you're that good and a contender, they're a contender, bona fide contender. So, what do you think their deficiencies
Yeah,
and shortcomings have been, in your opinion?
it's you hit it. It's been their defense over the stretch. They're 29th in defensive rating,
Jesus Christ.
and basically they haven't stopped teams from scoring at least 115 points. God, really, since the start of December. So their defensive just lapses have been horrible. I know Cat's been on the wrong end of a lot of these defensive possessions. But it's so shocking to me that their defense is this bad when that's something they really hung their hat on
With
just last
Tibbs,
season
baby.
under Tibbs. I thought coming into this year, the Mike Brown offense was going to pair so well with the defensive identity that Tibbs instilled in them. And I made a comparison similar to the Warriors going from Mark Jackson to Steve Kerr.
Yep.
But they've just completely dropped all of their defensive identity. And that's been, I think, the reason why they've struggled. Now, they're still third in the East. It's not like they're, needing to panic here. But I do think they're a team I think everybody who watches basketball in the East probably pegs as the team to be in the finals. Sorry, no disrespect to the Detroit Pistons. You guys have been incredible. But I think a lot of people have seen what the Knicks can do and expect them to at least be in the conference finals and represent the East in the finals. But if they're going to play defense like this, I can't imagine how they move past it. And over their last 10 games as well, their net rating is way down, and their offense just hasn't been able to carry them past how poorly they've played defensively. So with that in mind, Amir, there's a lot of different things they can maybe shake up. Do you think there's different lineups the Knicks should be trotting out there? Do you think they need to limit maybe Karl Anthony Towns in certain stretches? And what do you think needs to happen for the Knicks to change this kind of the stretch of horrible defense?
I think Mitchell Robinson maybe can take a few minutes from Cat. Cat's playing like 32, 33 minutes per game. Mitchell's only getting 19 minutes per game, and he's their best shot blocker, of course. And right now they're struggling. They're 26th in the NBA in blocks and steals. They're 18th, which is again surprising. So maybe giving Mitchell maybe a few more minutes, perhaps, because just again, Towns I think is a pretty bad defender, but like I don't know who else can get more opportunity. Maybe Tyler Kolek, like he's been getting some opportunity, but um, they're playing Landry Shamet, because he is a decent 3-point shooter. I don't know what he's shooting right now. I think he's shooting like 40% actually, so he's shooting very well. So it's hard to take him off the floor, but I don't know. Like you got to play Josh Hart a lot. You got to play OG a lot. You got to play Miles or Mikal, excuse me, a ton of minutes. Like I don't really see who in their lineup should get more opportunity. Like, is it just Mitchell Robinson? Like, Jordan Clarkson is getting 20 minutes per game. He's giving you 10 off the bench. Like, I don't know what you can do. Like, because they don't need more offense, they need more defense, and I don't think they have that defender. Like Landry is not a good defender. Clarkson's not a good defender. I think it's only really Mitchell Robinson. And another issue I see with them too is just outside of Brunson and Cat, like they're not getting to the free throw line. Like that's another issue too. Like to win some of these games, you need to get to the free throw line and get those easy buckets. And they're ranked 21st in free throws, 21st in free throws made, 23rd in free throws attempted. So they're bottom 7 in the league in free throws attempted. So I think outside of the defense, because the offense has been great, obviously, just getting more opportunities at the free throw line across the board to slow the game down, get those easy opportunities. But I'll throw it back to you. Like, who do you think deserves more minutes on that bench? There's not a lot out there, right? Like outside of the guys who are getting the minutes, I think it's distributed in a way that makes sense with Clarkson and Shamet, 2 guys off the bench that can heat up quickly and hit threes for you. Like who else should be in the rotation that's not in it?
Yeah, I'm not sure if there's anyone else. Like you said, Kolek might be able to grab a few more minutes here and there. Maybe Yabusele, he can inject a little bit more energy, a little more physicality. He's just getting about 9 minutes a game. I think it's going to come down to just Karl-Anthony Towns. I think he needs to be more engaged and locked in on the defensive side of the ball. There's been countless numbers of clips on him missing defensive assignments and his teammates holding him accountable for it. But Cat's just looking a bit clueless out there at times. So I think that's where it's going to need to change. I don't think there's anybody on that bench that's going to come in and flip a switch and make their defense any better than what it could be. I think it's got to ride on Cat and the guys that are getting these big minutes. And then, when you have a guy like Brunson as your main superstar, it's tough when you have a small point guard as your main offensive engine to try to hide him defensively. And it's not like he's a cone on defense by any stretch, but most guards are going to see that as a mismatch between them and Brunson, and that just is what it is, which makes that back line so much more important. To go back to Karl-Anthony Towns, kind of needs to be that enforcer, and they had that in Randall, but here we are. I think you have a little bit more offensive variability, but now your defense takes a bit of a back seat. But again, just shocked that their defense is what has been killing them, based on that being the New York Knicks identity for honestly its entire franchise history. Whenever they're good, the Knicks defense has been, their calling card. So it's a bit strange to see them as a more offensive focused team here in the modern day. Well, all right, Amir, I know we are at time here. I think we covered a lot here on the Knicks. We'll see if they can have a good stretch here before the All-Star break and get back to their winning ways. But we will see. So thank you again for joining me, and thank you all for watching. This has been another episode of the Ball Does Live podcast. If you do like the content, please make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.